Detroit and Dallas. Detroit and Chicago. The Lions are already always open it up, and you got the Cowboys. Cowboys in the. I'm not sure who they're playing. Ravens, is it?
I think it's the the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders. Yeah. Raiders and Cowboys.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be a good one. And there's a game that night as well. I think it's the Ravens. They're playing, or the Bills. The Bills are playing. Buffalo are playing somebody.
Probably Detroit.
I know the Detroit's playing Chicago, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
once is enough for the Lions.
Well, they have it hard enough as it is. So.
But our phone lines are open if you want to give us a call here tonight. We have no guests, so you can see the numbers there on your screen, and just give us a call if you have anything on your mind or anything you'd like to comment on in the world of sports. And we're going to talk high school football here, and also later on the show we're going to talk high school basketball. It's cranked up, and we're going to look at the new districts, a lot of new districts this year, and since TSSAA moved up to 4 classifications. And so we're going to look at that, and we got some scores as well from last night and Monday night. So we got a full plate here, but we're going into the semifinal round here of the high school football playoffs, and some good games tomorrow night.
Oh, it's going to be
not tomorrow night, but Friday night.
Be quite amazing. Some of the teams that are in it still, of course, Maryville, Alcoa, Cloudland, Elizabethton, Giles County, Hampton, Knoxville West, Powell, South Pittsburgh, Upperman, and Oakland. And I'll tell you what, last week I was quite impressed with how close Farragut kept it with Maryville.
It sure did. It was 28-21 Maryville, and Farragut, they played right with them.
And the fact that, Farragut, I guess, ended the season with probably a 56-6 season, and they really picked it up, towards the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. I guess they ended up, 6 and 7 then overall.
6 and 7, yeah.
6 and 7, and made it to the quarterfinals.
That's quite impressive.
That's pretty good. They're in a pretty tough region there. They're in the same region with Maryville and I believe in that bunch.
Right, and then they had to play Oak Ridge and beat them, and so that's.
Probably beat Oak Ridge during the season, and a lot of teams beat them as well, didn't they?
Yeah, Oak Ridge had a down year for them, 3-8, which I'm not sure who. Is there any thoughts yet on who the new coach is at this point, or?
Rumors is Scott Cummings at Halls. That's what I've heard, and I've heard other people say. So that's the only name I've really heard out there. I'm sure they've got plenty of applicants.
Oh, I'm sure of that. That's a very big job to have.
But Scott Cummings would be a good coach. Would be a good hire at Oak Ridge. He won a state at West High School, I think, about middle of the decade, 2014 or 15, around in there, I believe, for West, and went to Cleveland. He was there for about a year. He went there too long, and then he's been at Halls now for a couple years.
May have gotten somewhat homesick to be back in this immediate vicinity.
Came back to Halls, and Halls' program it's been a good program here the last few years, and advanced in the playoffs, so could be a good hire for Oak Ridge. They could do worse, I believe.
No, that's true.
We're going to go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just going to look at some games last week in the quarterfinal round, and the last team in our area, the Roan, Anderson, Morgan areas, last team standing was the Cofield Yellow Jackets, and what a game that was as they traveled to Roan Mountain to play the Cloudland Highlanders. A cold night up there on the mountain. You could see the frost coming off their breath, and BBB, OEB, Law, game of the week.
It was a game of the week, a one-point game.
Right, they covered the game, and 22-21. Unfortunately, Cloudland, they scored right at the very end of the game, went for two, and won the game.
My goodness, that's true drama right there.
I believe there's about 1 second to go when they scored, a little over 1 second.
Goodness gracious.
Right, all they had to do was pretty much kick off, and that was it.
Well, Cofield had a real good season. I'm sorry they lost, but they definitely were tough in the loss.
They sure did. Cofield ended up 9-3. Oh, correction, make that 10-3 overall. And a big game, Cole Hines, the quarterback, had another outstanding game. He was 10 of 15 passing, 204 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
My goodness gracious.
But it was a game, went back and forth. Cofield trailed early, came back to go ahead, and they scored there in the fourth quarter to go up 21-14. And Cloudland drove down. They only threw 1 pass in the game. And
You're kidding me.
right, it was a really quick game. It was under 2 hours, so it tells you how it was mainly just running, but, Cofield did pass the ball, but Cloudland only threw 1 pass, and he just threw it up for grabs pretty much, and the guy came down with it. It was almost intercepted, and they picked up a big first down inside the 10 on that pass, I believe, and the time was running out. They pretty much needed a play like that to get where they could able to run it in. They got down to the 1-yard line and had a penalty offsides and moved them back to about the 6 and ended up scoring. I believe it was a fourth down play, I think, and they went for 2. They went for 2 every time, so they got it that last time as well. I think they got the first one, 2-point conversion, but Cloudland will advance on to play South Pitt. They'll be hosting South Pittsburgh. So, congratulations to Coach Benson Napier and Cofield Yellow Jackets. A good season.
So a game of rushing and just a lot of hard-nosed football. I don't know if I've hardly ever heard of in the modern era any team winning with only passing the ball 1 time.
Well, they did it.
That's unbelievable.
Levi Mullins also had 2 receptions for 75 yards and a touchdown for Cofield. So one good thing about that, I guess, is Coach Brad Jones, the boys basketball team, he's going to get some football players out.
He certainly will. I'm sure he's recruiting big time as we speak.
Some other games last week in Class A, it was South Pittsburgh 44-14 over Gordonsville. And as we mentioned, South Pitt will be traveling to Cloudland. In Class 2A, Hampton went to Oneida and won 30-7.
That's a big win. Hampton has really sort of blown my mind in recent weeks, and beating Oneida by that score. Oneida's actually been pretty good this year.
Yeah, Oneida came on there strong there towards the end of the year, and they end up 9-4. But Hampton, they gave Cloudland their only loss this year. So, and Hampton will be hosting Trousdale County this week. Trousdale's 11-1, Hampton now 10-2. Also in 3A, it was Alcoa 52-0 over Pigeon Forge.
Well, that's unfortunate for Pigeon Forge, but that's probably what you would about expect. Alcoa just rolls over people like bowling pins. I don't know what it is, but they've just got the ball players.
They'll host Giles County this week as they defeated Loudon at Loudon last week, 42-27.
Now that's a good win for them, that's for sure.
I think Alcoa's number 1 and Giles County, I believe, is number 2. So you got the top 2 teams going at it in Alcoa this Friday night.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good one. That'll probably be other than Maryville, that'll be the other real test for Alcoa this year.
Giles County 12-0, Alcoa 11-1, only lost to Maryville. Big game in 4A last week. Elizabethton sort of shocked a lot of people, defeating Greenville. Went to Greenville and won 13-7.
Well, so they ended up 1-1 on the year, each 1-1, but this particular time they won when they needed to, and have, Elizabethton continues in the playoffs. So
That was a great game. Greenville got inside the 10-yard line. I think they held them like 5 times, I heard, in the fourth quarter.
My goodness.
So Elizabethton able to hang on and win that game. They are now 11-1 on the season. Elizabethton's 2-time defending state champions, and they will be hosting Upperman this week. Upperman's 12-1. Upperman's just right down below Cookville a little bit. So,
Okay.
Upperman Bees, or the Bees,
Huh.
or the Bees' knees. But Upperman must have grown as a school. They used to be, I thought they were a smaller school. They've got up to 4A now, so they may be playing up.
Oh, yeah.
But Elizabethton defeating Greenville, that's a big win for the Cyclones as they go for a three-peat. Another game, it was West once again, all over Central, 63-28, and they beat them pretty bad in the first meeting.
I tell you, putting 63 points on the board in Central is no slouch. To get 63 points, that's quite good in that game.
Yeah, they had a running back, Latham rushed for 185 yards and 3 touchdowns on 22 carries, and West will be hosting Powell this Friday night, and that's a big headliner game. As Powell took care of business against Ray County 27-13.
I thought that would be a pretty good game all the way around, but Nolan and company did what they needed to do in that one, and they're going to play West, of course, on this Friday night, and as you say, that will be the headliner in Knox County for sure.
Yeah, Walter Nolan, number 2 player in the country, he had 2 rushing touchdowns in that game.
Oh, did he?
Right, they sort of playing him like a refrigerator Perry when they get down to the goal line. They got a package and they put him in, and but he did. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. So, but Powell now 11-2 overall, and they will be traveling to West 11-2. I think that's on TV. I think it's on Mark Packer.
Right.
Packer Vision. I believe it's on Friday night, so tune into that. Should be a good one. As we mentioned earlier, it was Maryville over Farragut, and then another game in, Upperman defeated Red Bank 42-28. But in 6A, big matchup, 2 teams 13-0, Oakland and Maryville.
And I tell you, the thing about that, and I read some stuff on that, how they have played since 2014, semifinal round, and the winner of that one ends up winning the state championship. And over the last 7 times, Maryville has won 4 of those 7. And last year, they of course beat Maryville, which I didn't realize that until reading up on it, 49-7. And I've hardly ever heard of Maryville getting beat, let alone to that degree.
Certainly, this will be their 8th straight year playing in the semifinal round.
Exactly. And that's quite amazing. It just shows 2 teams that are just completely taking care of business against everybody else.
They're the top 2 teams in 6A. So you got Oakland at Maryville, Powell at West, Giles County at Alcoa. Games in our area locally that you could go to. That's 3 pretty good games right there.
It certainly is. Those are the top games that you very much would want to see. And Maryville and Oakland, I mean, that's just unreal.
It could very well be for the state championship.
Oh, yeah. I think it will be.
And Giles and Alcoa, too. 1 and 2 going at it. So right now we're going to take our first break of the night, and we'll be right back to look at some Player of the Year awards here locally and also across the state, and the players that are up for Mr. Football as well. So stick around, give us a call. You're watching the Locker Room Chat.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. They offer mulch, topsoil, all types of gravel, sand, rock, crab orchard stone, riprap stone, and limestone gravel. Mulch & More does light excavation work. Do you need a driveway repaired? They can do it. Plus, Mulch & More can do your water and sewer lines, French drains, and more with Ditch Witch services. So whether you only need a half cubic yard up to 20 cubic yards, Mulch & More can help you. Give Gary a call today at 865-234-7060 at Mulch & More in Midtown.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
At Roan Medical Center, we are committed to serving this community and providing the best possible care for our patients. We have 20 medical specialists on staff representing all areas of care in a clean and safe environment. You don't have to go out of town to receive excellence in outpatient services, so please don't delay. The care you deserve is right here, right now. For the moments of need, we are here for you.
For 14 years, Subaru and our retailers have been sharing the love with those who need it most. Now Subaru is the largest automotive donor to Make-A-Wish and Meals on Wheels, and the largest corporate donor to the ASPCA and National Park Foundation. Get a new Subaru during the Share the Love event, and Subaru will donate $250 to charity.
Earl Duff Subaru in Kingston is proud to support both national and local charities during the Subaru Share the Love event.
At OEB Law, our home is your home. And your family is our family. And down here, family takes care of family. Giving back and helping out whenever needed. OEB Law is proud to be from East Tennessee. OEB Law feels like home.
Welcome back into the Locker Room Chat, and right now we're going to look at the Mr. Football finalists for the state of Tennessee and in all the classifications. I think we got three players in each class. So Walter, go ahead and take it away. I know you did some research on this, and Chandler was on the ball, and he printed out a copy. What we got for Player of the Year?
Player of the Year, Division I, Class 1A, Khalik Ganaway of Peabody, DeAndre Kelly of South Pittsburgh, Marquez Taylor of McKenzie.
And that Ganaway, he's a pretty good running back, I believe. He was up for it last year as well. He may have won it last year. I'm not sure where he's going to school.
Okay, Division I, Class 2A, Cameron Huckabee of Meigs County. I know they've had a tremendous year. Meigs County, they at one point in time were undefeated, and I'm sure he was one of the reasons for that. Cameron Miller of MAHS. Now, do you know what actual high school that is?
I believe it's in Memphis.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a new school down there.
Ty Simpson of Westview.
I know Ty Simpson, he's going to Alabama. He's that quarterback Tennessee was trying to get. He has committed to Alabama.
Well, he shouldn't do that.
No, what is he thinking?
Division One.
Come up here and play for Josh Heupel. Who wouldn't want to play in that offense?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a quarterback, you would want to do that, particularly if you can run to any degree.
The quarterback they got there now at Alabama, what's his name? Young,
Yeah.
last name, and he ain't going nowhere. I don't know if he's going pro yet, but he's already got $1 million NIL he's inked, so you'll be playing behind him.
Yeah, exactly. Division One Class 3A, Caden Buckles out of Alcoa, and they just keep on bringing those guys out year after year, running backs and quarterbacks.
Buckles is a quarterback for Alcoa.
Right.
Yeah.
Jacob Dooley out of Waverly. Keaton Hargig out of Loudon, which I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly.
Herrig.
Oh, okay, Herrig.
Yeah, his dad's the coach there at Loudon, and he's had quite the career for the Redskins there in Loudon. Keaton Herrig, I know a lot of coaches would be glad to see him gone.
Yeah. Division One Class 4A, Barry On Brown of Pearl Cone. Mason Gudger out of Greenville, which of course has had them doing some great things this year.
Yeah, he's an outstanding running back. I haven't heard where he might end up at playing on the next level.
Right. Caden Pope out of Hardin County.
I did recently see that. I think he committed to Mississippi State over Tennessee and another school. So I'm not officially, but I think I saw that today.
And I'm hoping that Tennessee will get into Division One Class 5A, Desean Bishop out of Carnes. He, as we have talked about all season long, he's got well over 3,000 yards rushing this year, and was close to the all-time total, which he didn't quite make it. But
yeah, he was 3174. One he ended up with, and in second, or right behind Jalen Hurd, and also for all-purpose yards, he ended up second as well. And he tied somebody, another player, for I think Jeff Womack. I saw he played back in the early '80s. He tied him for total number of carries. So he had quite a few carries, but he came very close to setting the records.
And I thought, which was rather amazing, out of all the teams they played, Clinton held him to the least amount of yards during this season, which was well under 100. What was it, about 85 or thereabouts?
Mm-hmm. And Bishop, he's just a junior, so I know Coach Heupel and the Vols are on him. I think Bishop, they say they text quite a bit about every day. I think he's leaning towards Tennessee, so hopefully get him. And he also, I saw where he passed Deshaun Mobley, played for Powell as the leading rusher in Knoxville history. So
my goodness,
that's my brother writes for the Focus. He had that in the paper, so I credit him for that. Steve Williams. So shout out to my brother there. So
he's a good. He was my minor league baseball coach many moons ago. Matter of fact, I would say about 1970.
Yeah, I think I remember watching y'all play a few.
Yeah, that's been a while ago.
Was that the Senators?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Okay, Division I Class 5A, Jamarcus Brooks out of Memphis Central. And then, of course, Walter Nolan III out of Powell, as you call him, William the Refrigerator Perry.
He's committed to Texas A&M.
Well, let's hope that changes.
Yeah, I think they're still working on him. So Coach Banks was at the quarterback club this week, and Walter Nolan happened to be there. He was getting an award, and he was talking about Tennessee's defensive coach. Name slips my mind right now, but Rodney Gardner, I
Yes.
believe. Gardner, talking about how good a defensive coach he is, and why anybody wouldn't want to play for him. I think he was just sort of directing that at Nolan. So,
Oh, yeah.
so maybe Big Walter will wind up wearing orange.
Well, to me, you can be out there as many times as you are with that fast offense, and then you're on the field so much on defense. It's quite impressive that we've done as well as we have on defense this year.
Certainly, yeah. Got a big win last week, got us bowl eligible, but yeah, you had to be in shape, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Tennessee's fast-paced offense, and Tennessee's defense is on the field, 99 plays against Kentucky.
That was just unbelievable. I mean, it wore me out just watching the football game.
So they definitely, you have to be in shape. That's only drawback, I guess, to that offense. If you go 3 and out, you're back out there. And
But what is it, 46 minutes to 13 minutes in the Kentucky game, and Tennessee was okay as far as time of possession in the South Alabama game, but it was still, nowhere near what you actually need to not be winded.
what do you think about the Vanderbilt game this week, Tennessee and Vanderbilt?
I think they need to get out there and do what they need to do early and put Vanderbilt away and not ever have a Georgia State type game ever again, and do exactly what they did last week against South Alabama.
I think they will. I think they'll take care of business.
Yeah.
What have you heard about the bowl projections for the
Well,
Vols?
I was talking to one gentleman today when I was getting gas, and I told him the Music City Bowl, I've heard a possibility. He's heard a possibility of Florida, which I guess something like the Citrus Bowl or go to Tampa or whatever. But
Yeah, Jimmy Hines was saying that the Florida Bowls could still be in play. It's not that far-fetched. Tennessee may get invited, but unlike you, I've heard the Music City Bowl.
Right.
Maybe the Duke Mayo Bowl, the Belk, used to be the Belk Bowl.
Right.
But the opponents are really not setting off fireworks. I think they had us matched up with Purdue or Minnesota out of the Big Ten.
That would
for
be
the Music City.
rather interesting. I didn't know. I haven't figured on Minnesota any particular signature wins they've had, but I know Purdue has had some signature wins. But
Yeah, they beat Michigan State, didn't they?
Yeah.
And, I'd rather play a Clemson or a Penn State.
that would help on recruiting, I think, more.
Right. Some national, bigger team like that.
Exactly.
Is that all you have for the? Is that the? We got 6A.
Let's see. Yeah, we do. 6A, Jordan James out of Oakland, which he's apparently quite good. They are stout players, and the fact that going against Maryville again this week. Destin Wade out of Summit and Keaton Wade out of Summit. I'm sort of amazed, 2 players from the same team and apparently kin to each other. I don't know if they're brothers or cousins or whatever, but.
Yeah, they're brothers.
Oh, okay.
One's a quarterback and linebacker, and Summit, they won the state last year. They defeated Oak Ridge in 5A, and Summit's moved up now to 6A, and they're undefeated. They will play Hendersonville Friday night, and the winner of that will play Oakland or Maryville. But yeah, those Wade brothers are pretty good players. I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure, but one of them's committed to Kentucky.
Okay.
So
we need to get all these people committed to Tennessee. I mean, everybody knows I'm a Tennessee fan. So.
In the state of Tennessee, they need to wear the orange.
That's it, exactly. Division II, Class A, Bradford Gaines out of DCA. Still Haynes out of USJ. Joshua Strickland Jr. out of Nashville Christian. And I don't know, once we get down in those, I don't know too many of those.
No, I don't know much about in private schools. I'm sure there's some good players though. There's Dallin Hayden, Aaron Hayden's son.
Oh, okay.
Plays for Christian Brothers. He's a running back. I think he's committed to Ohio State.
Okay.
So he's a legacy kid. Tennessee'd like to have him.
Well, we need to get Aaron Hayden to steer him back in our direction.
And we got the kicker of the year. What's that?
Upton Belafont out of Stewart's Creek. Justice Chadwick out of Tullahoma, and George Laster out of Brentwood Academy.
Okay. So,
I've not heard as much from Brentwood Academy in recent times. I don't know, are they not as good as they have been, or I'm just not hearing about them as much?
who's that now?
Brentwood Academy.
Not kept up as much with the private.
Right.
They're not the powerhouse they used to be.
Right.
You know, back in the Carlton Flat days, and
I remember back in the 90s in particular, they were stout.
they changed the face of high school football in a way. They were still playing public then, and I think they defeated Powell one year.
Very badly in 1991.
And after that, they went private. So I think that's when the public-private split came about.
Yeah.
Pretty much in there. What do you have locally, Walter? I know you did some research on some local region players of the year.
Right. Region 2 4A Coach of the Year was Davey Gillum out of Anderson County, and that is a tribute to unbelievable schedule. I guess they were like 500, but 6-6, but they got all the wins they needed to in the district, and did what they needed to. And I mean, if you looked at their schedule, they had one of the hardest schedules around.
Well, they certainly did. I believe every team on their schedule made the playoffs, except for Bearden. Well, outside of their, Scott didn't make it, but Bearden, the teams that played the non-conference was pretty tough. And congratulations to Coach Davey Gillum. The quarterback Martinez got hurt in the middle of the season, and they were still able to go on and make it to the second round of the playoffs.
And then your co-MVP was Gavin Noe out of Anderson County, and he's a good football player. We've had him here on the show.
I don't think Gavin's been in. He's
not been here.
He's called in a few times on the scoreboard show, I've heard, but he's a good young man, and he's a junior. Made All-State last year. I'm sure he'll be All-State this year, and I think he ended up right around 1,500 yards and about 15 or so touchdowns.
Yeah, he's done quite well this year, and that's definitely what they've needed, and he's helped them in a good way. And of course, Sean Gary out of South Doyle was a co-MVP with Noe, and he helped South Doyle, but the South Doyle sort of fizzled out towards the end of the year.
Well, they sure did. They did fizzle out. Ended up fourth in that region.
And newcomer, which is, I guess, when you're your first year in football in the high school ranks, Nick Moog out of Anderson County. He won that award, which is certainly good.
Yeah, congratulations to Nick. He's a sophomore. He got hurt last year, hurt his knee injury, and it's good to see him come back. And I think he led Anderson County in tackles this year as a sophomore, but he's a good player. His brother also played at Anderson County.
And offensive specialist Bryson Val out of Anderson County. So they had quite a few people with some awards, which is awfully nice. And the defensive assistant John Chadwell, which was very good. Walker Martinez of Anderson County, making the all-district team. Garrison Terry also.
He was on the show.
Okay. Zach Shannon.
Yeah, he was here. Mm-hmm.
Eli Davis. Let's see, Jacob Workman. Eli Nelson, Caleb Livingston, Tate Russell, Braden Miller, Sully Sexton. I remember him being here. He's a big fella.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Sully.
Thor Williams was the scholar athlete.
Well, congratulations to those Anderson County athletes.
And actually, some of these others I have are more from the Region 1 1A, which had Cloudland and Jellicoe and some of those folks in this. And then Coach of the Year out of Region 1 6A, which for whatever reason, they didn't have a bunch of these published, and mainly just the localized one with Anderson County that I was able to pick up from Five-Star Preps last night. But Coach of the Year in Region 6A was Science Hill, and they had all kinds of people that won awards for Science Hill, but there was really nothing else as far as our localized area.
And you mentioned off the air about the Joshua Keith at Clinton.
Right. I was glad to see him winning the award he won off of Channel 6 being Player of the Year. Which
the Friday night Player of the Year. So Friday Night Frenzy, I think is what they call it.
Exactly.
So congratulations, Joshua Keith, just a sophomore. So right now we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to look at some high school basketball scores and the new district alignments this year. So stick around. You don't want to miss that. You're watching the Locker Room Chat.
At OEB Law, our home is your home. And your family is our family. And down here, family takes care of family. Giving back and helping out whenever needed. OEB Law is proud to be from East Tennessee. OEB Law feels like home.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We'll buy it on the spot and we'll pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. Rome Metals will treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Herman and Rockwood.
For 14 years, Subaru and our retailers have been sharing the love with those who need it most. Now, Subaru is the largest automotive donor to Make-A-Wish and Meals on Wheels, and the largest corporate donor to the ASPCA and National Park Foundation. Get a new Subaru during the Share That Love event, and Subaru will donate $250 to charity.
Earl Duff Subaru in Kingston is proud to support both national and local charities during the Subaru Share the Love event.
At Roan Medical Center, we are committed to serving this community and providing the best possible care for our patients. We have 20 medical specialists on staff representing all areas of care in a clean and safe environment. You don't have to go out of town to receive excellence in outpatient services, so please don't delay. The care you deserve is right here, right now. For the moments of need, we are here for you.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. They offer mulch, topsoil, all types of gravel, sand, rock, crab orchard stone, riprap stone, and limestone gravel. Mulch & More does light excavation work. Do you need a driveway repaired? They can do it. Plus, Mulch & More can do your water and sewer lines, French drains, and more with Ditch Witch services. So whether you only need a half cubic yard up to 20 cubic yards, Mulch & More can help you. Give Gary a call today at 865-234-7060 at Mulch & More in Midtown.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back into the Locker Room Chat. And right now we're going to look at the new district standings in basketball here in East Tennessee and in her area. You know, Roan, Anderson, and Morgan. Chandler's got a lot of them back there printed off where you can see them on the TV. So thank him and Brad for doing that. And but yeah. The coaches voted to go to 4 classifications in basketball, and also baseball and softball, and maybe some other sports as well. Mainly those sports right there. We're going to look at the basketball right now. So that's going to change it a lot across the area. You know, we got, I guess you could say it's sort of watered down now a little bit. You know, you got 6 classifications in football, and now you're going to have 4 in basketball, but it sort of evens the playing field out a little bit. You know, it's hard to compete with some of the larger schools if you're a smaller school on one end of the scale. So here is Region 1 and 2, 2A, District 2 and 3. If you look there on the right, some of the Kingston on a local team in there, District 3 is Loudon, McMinn Central, Meigs County, Sweetwater, and Tellico Plains. So quite the change for Kingston as they move further south to compete.
Well, I mean, it looks like they're going to travel quite a bit with McMinn Central, Meigs County, Sweetwater, and Tellico Plains, because you got Loudon, which I guess relatively close, but otherwise they're going to be traveling quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. They'll be going down Highway 58 a little bit. You see District 2, Alcoa, Cumberland Gap, Gatlinburg-Pittman, Pigeon Forge, Union County. Gatlinburg-Pittman's usually got a pretty good team. Alcoa will be competitive as well. So Union County there, so they've had some good basketball teams. So let's move on to the next Region 2, 1A, Districts 3 and 4, and this used to be pretty much one whole district right here. I think they had 9 teams in it, and now they sort of split them in half. You can see Cofield in District 3, Oliver Springs, Oneida, Sunbright, and Wartburg. And in District 4, Greenback, Harriman, Midway, Oakdale, Rockwood, and Tennessee School for the Deaf joining the district. Harriman's got a good team. They're off to a slow start this year. They got a really McCullough kid, I think's his name, McCullum, about 6'7" kid. It's just I think it's his junior year coming up. If you haven't seen him play, you need to watch him play. You switch over, Coach Brad Jones is first-year coach at Cofield. And also Sunbright, they have a new coach this year as well. I apologize, did not know his name. I know Coach Jones was there last year at Sunbright. He's now at South Doyle as an assistant. But that's a big change right there. It'll make for a good region tournament.
Yeah,
when those teams, you cross over there and play each other.
And they probably know each other quite well from previous years, so that's not going to be a lot of surprises. And I know what I was reading, I think Oliver Springs will have a little bit of a leg up from what I understand going in. But
Yeah, I heard they're improved this year. We'll look at some scores here coming up in the records here in a little bit. What else we got there, Chandler? Region 2 and 3, 3A, Districts 3, 4, and 5. You see District 3 with Carter, Gibbs, Northview, Academy, and Seymour. District 4, Anderson County, Clinton, Knox Halls, and Scott High. And that's going to be, you just got 4 teams in that district, so all 4 teams are going to advance to the region. So that district there sort of got split in half. Some of the other half of those teams that was in that district, they moved up to 4A, and we'll see that here in a moment. But you see District 5, Austin East, Fulton, Lenore City, Sequoia, and South Dole. Well, that looks to be a competitive district as well.
Oh yeah, it certainly will be. Getting back to the Clinton situation and also the Carter and District 3, the fact that you will immediately go into the region tournament, that you don't have near the pressure on you that you would have in previous years.
Right, and getting out of the district, there won't be any pressure. They'll just be playing for seeding, and You know, that District 4 and District 3 will be matched up in the region. When you look at District 4, you know, Clinton's returning everybody. They got 8 seniors. You look at Scott High, they've got a Trey Morrow, he was up for, I think, Player of the Year last year. And they're off to a 5-0 start, so they've got an excellent team. You know, Clinton's going to be tough. You know, they're projected to be one of the top teams in East Tennessee. And, you know, Anderson County, they're improved this year under Coach Wallace. They're playing more of an up-tempo style of basketball, and they're going to be fun to watch. And, you know, I hear some good things about Halls as well, so that's going to be a competitive district.
It certainly will be. And Anderson County and Clinton very much rivals as it is, and they'll, you know, could very well go for 1 and 2 in their district, which Halls always is tough.
Mm-hmm. But Scott, yeah, watch out for them. They're, with that Morrow kid, they're going to be good. You know, District 5, they're moving further south when it comes to the region play, so Clinton wouldn't be matched up with Fulton, or District 4 won't be matched up with District 5. They wouldn't meet those teams at all, so they would meet them in the state tournament if they got that far. So I know Greenville is the defending champions in class 3A, I guess, or 2A. Greenville's moved up to 3A, if I'm not mistaken. I know they won the state last year, but you know, they got some players back, as most of their teams back as well, so they're probably the team to beat right there. So you want to avoid Greenville.
That's for sure.
Especially and get down to the sub-state. Let's move on up. Region 2, 4A. As I was talking about, that's the other half of the district there that Clinton and Anderson County were in. You see Campbell County, Karnes, Central, Oak Ridge, Powell, and West. So that'll be, this is the new 4A classification. So, and they'll be opposite Bearden, Farragut, Hardin Valley, Heritage, Maryville, and William Blount. So both of those districts competitive.
I'm sort of amazed, which I followed a lot closer years ago when I was doing a lot of play-by-play, but I know for so many years you had your Campbell County and Karnes and Oak Ridge and Powell. Clinton was playing a lot of them, you know, all the time and in the same district years ago.
Yeah, that's pretty much been the district for several years now with those teams you mentioned. It's sort of sad to see it break up, but I know Clinton is playing most of these teams on their schedule this year. I know they're going to play Oak Ridge twice, and they played Powell last night. Dragons beat Powell by 24 points. So,
whoa.
Dragons off to a 3-1 start. I think Anderson County's 4-0. You know, Karnes has got everybody back. Coach Lee Henson. And
does Bishop play basketball too?
I do not know.
Oh, okay.
Do not know. But District 4 with Bearden, Farragut, and Maryville, it's going to be tough right there. I know Bearden went to the state last year. Here they got a pretty good team. You know, Farragut's been in the region, Maryville as well. So Anderson County's at Maryville next Tuesday, so that'll be that's a big test.
Oh yeah.
For the Mavericks, and also Anderson County will be hosting Clinton next Friday.
Well, that will be a good one.
It'll be worth the price of admission. So,
yes.
You know, we talk about boys, but you know the girls will be playing in these districts as well. So you know, you can just pencil in the girls there as well as you look at these districts. And saw Powell play last night. They look to be probably maybe the team to beat in the District 3 girls. Oak Ridge is always there. Oak Ridge and Clinton looks to be improved this year. They got Sarah Burton back. She's
I've heard good things about her.
She's up for Prep Extra Player of the Year. A couple of games. She's already got over 40 points a game so far, and they've got another senior, Belle Starnes, and they got 3 freshmen starting for them right now. So I know Anderson County girls, they're going to be young, but they're better this year as well. They got one senior, Kylie Albus. You're kin to her.
Oh, yeah, my cousin.
Yeah, your cousin. So there's a look at the new districts. So we'll be covering them here coming up here throughout the year and into the new year. So we look forward to having some of the local teams in here like we do football.
Oh, yeah, we certainly be glad to talk to a lot of folks. I'm just glad the different people you're able to get in from time to time. It's a really good thing.
Yeah, shine the spotlight on the kids. We like to do that. So well, they got some, looking at some scores from last night, talking about some teams. Let's talk about the girls. Oak Ridge is off to, they're 2-0 this year. Lady Wildcats, they defeated McMinn County 76-66 on the other night. Maybe I think it was last week. I don't know if they played volunteer last night or not. I know the boys did. Jellicoe 59, Rockwood 31. Rockwood Tigers 0-2 start the season. It was Oneida over Harriman 70-63. Lady Blue Devils now 1-3. It was Scott over Wartburg 46-36. Wartburg now 1-2. As I mentioned, Powell over Clinton 66-46. Lady Dragons dropped to 1-2 on the year. They lost to McMinn County and Powell last night. They defeated Austin East last Saturday.
Okay.
It was Cofield over Midway, 53-48. 2 teams right there in their viewing area. Both of those teams are 1-2. Sunbright girls, they've got a good team this year. They are 4-1. Heard some good things about Sunbright. They had a good team last year. They defeated Monterey 55-31. Kingston lost to Harriman, and now they are 1-3 on the year. Oakdale's off to an 0-2 start. The Lady Eagles, they will be playing Oliver Springs on Monday. And Oliver Springs is 0-3 as well. Coach Christopher there at Oliver Springs, I'm sure she's not happy with that.
I'd say not.
Oliver Springs girls usually much better than that.
Yeah, they're usually juggernauts.
Mm-hmm. Anderson County girls are 3-0. They've defeated Loudon, Knoxville Ambassadors, and Greenback. So Coach Mitch Couples is filling in, interim coach for Nikki Anasicki,
Okay.
who coaches Anderson County. She gave birth to twins back in June, and she's spending a little time with them, twin boys. So she'll be coming back the first of the year for the Lady Mavs. On the boys' side, it was Oak Ridge over Volunteer last night, 87-70. The Wildcats now 2-0. They also defeated McMinn County. It was Jellicoe 82, Rockwood 43. As Coach K down at Rockwood, that was their first game, so they are 0-1.
Is Jellicoe that good, or is Rockwood having a rough time?
Maybe a little bit of both. Rockwood's been pretty good the last few years. They had one kid there 2 years ago that was really good, a freshman. He ended up transferring to Corbin.
Yeah.
So Jellicoe's a pretty good team, it looks like. It was Oneida defeating Harriman 55-54 in boys action. That sounds like a nail biter, as Harriman now is 1-4 on the year. That's sort of surprising.
Yes, it certainly is. Harriman's usually pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oneida now 2-1. It was Scott High. They were 5-0. They defeated Wartburg 80-34. Wartburg now 1-2 on the season. Clinton defeated Powell last night, as we mentioned earlier, 75-51. Dragons are now 3-1. Lone loss coming to McMinn County that first game of the season.
And they were probably trying to warm up good. And as I was talking, which you know a lot more about them than I do, but Clinton's got 2-3 players in the 6'5", 6'6" range, and that's quite impressive. And you know they're going to get the boards.
Yeah, they got a veteran team. Coach Lockard, really excited. I know the fans are, and they went 22-6 last year. They've been to the region semifinals the last 2 years, and you know they got their sights set on the state tournament this year, and they got the team to do it. They got a sharpshooter in Jackson Garner, and you know they got a pretty balanced team.
That's good. I'm glad to see that.
Coach Brad Jones played his first game at Midway last night. They came up short end 68-62, as the Yellow Jackets now 0-1 on the year, and Midway is 1-1. It was Monterey over Sunbright, 75-46. Sunbright now 2-2 on the season. Oakdale defeated Sell Creek 68-56 in a game played on Monday. They are 1-1. Oliver Springs has started the season. They are 1-2. They lost to Lenoir City 72-67, but they will be playing Oakdale on Monday. So also Anderson County, the Mavericks, they started out the season 4-0. They have defeated Loudon, the Ambassadors, Greenback, and Sunbright. So, but they will be playing, as I said, at Maryville this coming Tuesday, and then they'll be hosting Clinton. So exciting times.
It certainly is. I don't know. I always get my blood, not boiling, but getting motivated to hear about and see the Clinton, Anderson County, and Clinton Oak Ridge games.
Certainly, yeah. I know that it's been a while since the Dragons defeated Oak Ridge, and I know they really wanting to beat them.
Oh, you better believe it.
Right. Let's look at some of the games Friday night in football. We'll make our picks here. We got South Pitt 9-2 at Cloudland, 12-1. I'll take South Pitt. They're pretty tough.
Right. I'll take South Pitt also.
Trousdale 11-1 at Hampton, 10-2. That'll be a great game right there. Don't know much about Trousdale. Know they wear purple, but I'll take the Hampton Bulldogs at home.
Hampton Bulldogs also.
Giles County at Alcoa. It's a battle of 1 versus 2. Give me the Tornadoes.
Give me the Tornadoes, Alcoa.
In 4A, you have Upperman, 12-1 at Elizabethton, 11-1.
Elizabeth.
I'll take Elizabethton. 5A, Powell at West. Both teams 11-2.
Ooh. Powell.
I'm going to go with the Rebels. In Oakland at Maryville, both 13-0.
Go with Maryville, but boy, that's going to be a nail biter.
I will go with Oakland. So that's going to be it. And I'd like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving for me and Walter. And just remember the 3 F's: faith, family, and football.
Better believe it.
And count your blessings. And we'll see you next week on the Locker Room Chat.
Happy Thanksgiving.